What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Did y'all know that UFC 6 is coming out? Did any of this hit your timeline? Did you guys know that like June 19th is when a new UFC game drops? It's been 3 years. Now, of course, everybody always talked about UFC and the way that they do their development. As a person who was actually a part of some of the testing of the devs and stuff like that on the early iterations of the UFC franchise, I can say that I like when games take time to build on top of what they have instead of coming out with the same product every year, slap on a new couple skins, add a few small viral moves that fighters do. I'm glad to see that the UFC team took a step back. Vancouver's amazing, by the way. Took a step back and said, you know what? Let's go ahead and build on top of what we have, and let's try to get it as precise as we possibly can to give the fans what they truly, really want. So if you didn't know, like I said, the game does come out the 19th, but if you do pre-order the game, you will get 7 days of early access from the 12th to the 18th before the actual game drops. So for all those people out there that want to get an early look and, you know, see if this is going to be something that they play long term until the next iteration of UFC, this might be that, you know what, let me go ahead and pre-order this, get that, you know what I'm saying, get that time in and see how I like the game. Because of course, I already know how things go, right? We're in a time where gaming isn't just gaming anymore. Gaming is all about the competitiveness. It's all about how good you are on the sticks, how good you are in the octagon, and how bad you can beat your opponent. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to beat them by submission? Are you going to ground and pound them? Are you going to knock them out with a head kick, an uppercut, a Superman punch, anything, an elbow? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to knock them out in a clinch? Like, what can happen? How can you get to that victory the fastest? And I believe that people that pre-order games, they get the most time with it, because if you think about it, a lot of people just got done playing 007 and they said it took a day and a half to beat the whole game if you didn't put it down. So just imagine having 7 days with a game, and then the day that online truly drops and the masses of the assness decides to come in. You already know who's going to climb the tier. You already know who's going to go to the top. You already know who's going to be unstoppable, unbeatable in the octagon. Okay. But what I wanted to actually do was I wanted to showcase some of the trailers and stuff like that for you guys, some deep dive, some hands on, because there are still those people out there that are skeptical of the game. And I'm going to tell you right now, for a person like myself who hasn't seen a game for 3 years, I want to see innovation. I want to see what's new. I want to see what changed. I want to see how they went about the story mode. I want to see how they went about online. I want to see if they still got the ultimate team and stuff like that. But for all of those people out there that are kind of on the fence about, how do I even want to spend my money? We got so many games coming out in July, August, September. Is this worth it? We're going to go ahead and watch some videos right now to see if it is. What we are about to watch is the official trailer. This is like game mode, all enhancements, everything that they have in a 5-minute video. And I want to actually watch this with y'all so I can see if I see something really, really dope and you might not notice it, then you know what I'm saying? But if it's vice versa, where you notice something and I didn't react, drop the timestamp inside the comment section.
Our ambition with game modes is to deliver an experience that deepens your connection to the fighters and the sport, taking you beyond the fight in the octagon through the life and career of a fighter. The Legacy is an all-new narrative prologue built around Chris Carter's journey to the UFC.
Chris Carter, okay.
Career mode that lets players forge a more choice-driven legacy of their own. And Hall of Legends, a one-of-a-kind immersive experience where players can explore the stories of 3 UFC icons. Before the lights and the glory of the UFC, there is a journey. And the Legacy is where it all begins. This is a new narrative prologue that spans 3 phases of Chris Carter's career, from a decorated collegiate wrestler all the way to the biggest stages in combat sport, the UFC. But Chris' path isn't just shaped by what happens in the octagon. Team pressure, Danny too, right? Personal rivalries, and the legacy of his father all influence the road ahead. In the Legacy, The world reacts to your choices through commentary and social media,
Okay.
reinforcing key narrative beats and the growing rivalry between you and Danny.
Good.
You will see this journey play out inside and outside the Octagon, taking the story to new and unexpected settings. While there is a narrative and challenge,
Hold on. Did they get that boy a Tupac scene? Not niggas fighting in Vegas. Not niggas fighting at the casino floor. Oh my God.
this mode lets you experience the UFC journey through the eyes of a newcomer.
Okay.
UFC Career Mode is where you take control and chase greatness on your terms. Here you can continue Chris Carter's story, start building a new UFC legacy with a created fighter, or as your favorite athlete. With 10 times.
Hey, can I just say, Chris Carter might be OP. If that character was already building with XP and stuff like that and movesets and legacy, and then you port them over to career mode, oh my God.
As many choices as UFC 5, Career Mode allows you to feel the weight of every decision you make. Offering dynamic choices through social media or text, your decisions can affect everything from skill points, fans, cash, attributes, hype, fitness, and more. Recent moments that can directly impact the course of your journey now play out through new dice roll outcomes. We have ensured that putting together a strong camp and building momentum results in high-impact gameplay rewards, including boosts to flow state. The new career hub and weekly agenda are clearer, doing a better job of grounding you in the week-to-week rhythm of UFC life, with a clear view of your next event, your progress, and how hype and fitness can shape the fight ahead. Learn a Move is a new feature that replaces Invite a Fighter, giving players a more streamlined way to expand their moveset. You can also chase some of the biggest moments in the sport, like becoming a 2-division champion and fighting for and defending the BMF belt.
Okay, so
Career Mode's new focus on dynamic narratives, randomized outcomes, and fighter management mean it's never felt more like being an actual UFC fighter.
Hall of Legends is built.
Ooh, okay, so from what I pulled from career mode is that you really got to make some of the best choices for a career. And also from hearing that it's going to be a dice roll, like every time you choose something, I want to know, are all of my save and quit guys out there and ladies out there, are y'all going to be on top of that? Like, let's say for instance, you make a decision, right? And it tell you what's going to happen with that decision. Will you be able to save and quit or just close app and then open back up and then re-choose that option? Or is that option automatically locked in? Like it automatically starts saving as soon as you choose it. So when it pops up, it's already saved. They know you can do. You can't walk back on that. That's what I would like to know as well. As well as I do like the fact of you being able to see, you know, what your next fight is blatant. How many days and how much money it's going to take you to learn a move and stuff like that. That's pretty dope. It looks like you're definitely going to have to, you know, stockpile a lot of money, save up, and not just blow your money on whatever the case may be. And plus, I think that it's probably one of those things where when you're learning moves and stuff like that, you kind of want to stay like tunnel vision on, you know, what type of fight style you want, instead of trying to be a jack of all trades, because you're going to drive yourself crazy.
On one of the big ideas behind UFC 6. Every fighter has a
Hall of Legends.
This is a new mode for the franchise, containing 3 interactive halls focused on Alex Pereira, Max Holloway, and Weili Zhang. Each hall gives players a chance to explore the cultures, histories, and defining fights that shape them into the athletes fans know today. This immersive mode celebrates these fighters, while giving players a closer look at the stories behind their rise. To ensure each experience was authentic, we worked with cultural advisors throughout development to make sure the featured environments and objects stayed true to both the athlete and culture being represented.
Okay, can you watch the fights?
Explore culturally inspired spaces celebrating each athlete's history. As you move through these halls, you learn more about their journey and background through interactive videos, authentic props, and cultural artifacts.
Interactive videos, okay.
In each hall, there is also a selection of Max, Alex, and Weili's iconic fights, where you see what led up to those fights before seamlessly jumping into the most pivotal part. Inside these fights,
okay, I figured it was going to be something like this, whereas though now you get to fight with the characters and stuff like that. But I wish they would probably I mean, obviously you can probably watch stuff on YouTube and stuff like that, but it would definitely be dope to, you know, open up a game and be able to watch, you know, fights from, you know, somebody's whole career. Like, you know what I mean? Because most of the time it's not no more than 20 fights maximum. You know what I mean? Like, if you could watch every single fight that they've been through, whether it's win, lose, or draw, and then out of the ones that are really, really dope, you get to use those fighters or fight up against those fighters. You know, granted, you know, people have the access to those fighters to put them in game. That'd be nice too.
Are a series of objectives to hit, each one representing key moments, exchanges.
Now, this is what I would have wanted for Legacy. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is basically what I mean for Legacy, but the way that they have the Hall of Legends, I think that'd be way too much to build on top of for all of these different fighters. That'd be way too much. All these different weight classes, 3 fighters per weight class. The Hall of Legends idea, doing it, nah, don't do it that way. But if you could do Legacy like that, where you follow different people's careers and stuff like that, that'd be fire.
And strategies. By completing these fight objectives, you unlock rewards tied to the experience, giving you something meaningful to earn and carry through into further gameplay.
That's fire.
This is where your journey goes beyond the Octagon.
The coins.
gym is your personal fight factory, where collecting, coaching, competing, and customization all come together. This is a new, lighter progression system where you can recruit, train, and customize fighters across the roster while earning fighter-specific rewards and vanity items.
Okay,
While it
glasses.
doesn't affect gameplay, it is another way to show loyalty and fandom.
Across all these experiences, UFC 6 expands what a UFC game can be. And there is even more to discover, from crossplay and improved onboarding to new accessibility options, all detailed further in our game blog. However you play, UFC 6 gives you a stronger sense of progression, a more personal connection to your journey, and new reasons to stay invested beyond the Octagon.
Okay. All right, so let's look at a few things real quick. Pre-order the Ultimate Edition to receive, of course, the 7 days early access. Fighter Pass UFC Legends, Randy Couture and Ken Shamrock. Okay. Winter 26, Summer 27 Expansion Pass. I wonder what that's about. Expansion Pass. VIP Pass, 5 fighter skins, 6 VIP cosmetics, and more. What else? Iconic Moments bundle. Pre-order bonus, 3 new fighter skins. Okay. Oh, okay. I get it. Maybe it's like, you know, young this, older that, you know, iconic like moment type skin. Okay. Rivalry bundle, 2 fighter skins plus 500 UFC points. Okay, so the what do they want to call it? Currency for the game is going to be UFC points, or are they going to have, or is it something 2 different ones for, you know, whoop de whoop? But okay. All right. Let me see. All right, that's that for that. All right, let's go ahead and check out this hands-on preview. Now, this hands-on preview is from IGN. So, you know, this is one of the things where, you know, we got to just listen to somebody talk and give their opinion on the game and see how they liked it.
While other EA Sports series like Madden, NHL, and EA Sports FC are on yearly release schedules, the UFC games have always benefited from the fact that EA Vancouver is able to take substantially more time in between each entry. In this case, it's now been nearly 3 years since the release of UFC 5, and after a recent 4-hour hands-on session, my first impression is that those 3 years feel well spent, as UFC 6 is shaping up to be another knockout for the franchise.
Oh, I like that kick. Okay.
It was immediately clear to me once I picked up the controller that one of the pillars that EA Vancouver focused on with UFC 6 was making each fighter feel more distinct than they have in the past. No longer does every athlete have the same blocking stance. Instead, they each have been placed into one of 4 buckets that determines how their defense works. Elusive fighters, such as Anderson Silva,
I ain't gonna lie.
Cruz, and MVP,
Elusive gonna be OP. I'm not gonna lie. Evasive gonna be OP. Oh my God. I might use the Philly shell, not gonna lie, when I do career mode, but evasive might be crazy OP. But I don't know, like, what if you use an evasive and you duck the wrong way and you like literally run into a shot? That's what I want to see.
Which keeps their hands low even while they're holding down the block button. They can and still will block, of course, but with these fighters, you'll probably want to focus more on making use of their increased head movement and reduce vulnerability while they're bobbing and weaving. Those
That's
who keep their
hard.
hands up and keep a strong guard employ the sturdy style of defense, where their block is enhanced, but they are far less mobile while keeping their hands up. Many fighters utilize a balanced style that keeps their hands up but doesn't offer much in the way of significant advantage or disadvantages. And a few fighters, like Sean Strickland, make use of the Philly Shell, which has the unique perk of being able to mitigate both head and body damage at the same time, but is more vulnerable on the side of the head that is being undefended. For casual or non-MMA fans, this probably won't make too much of a difference. But as someone who prefers picking his favorite fighters and trying to emulate the way they fight in real life, I love being able to pick a fighter like Dominic Cruz and then just be able to play in a way that is true to the way he used to fight. Lots of darting in and out, tons of head movement to avoid shots, and a barrage of shots thrown from awkward angles. The push for fighter identity goes even further with the core new feature of UFC, Flow State. It's basically a power-up that you can trigger once you fill up a meter that enhances a specific aspect of your fighter's playstyle for a limited amount of time. So, for example, Max Holloway's flow state enhances his advancing footwork instead.
Can I just say, this shit look good. I don't know if it's like my monitor, but damn near, he looked realistic damn near. Maybe it's just his capture in my monitor, but am I tripping? All right, let's keep going.
Stamina efficiency, encouraging him to move forward and engage in potentially reckless offense. The cool thing about it, though, is that the opponent can respond to this with a taunt to earn a portion of that buff as well, encouraging them to also engage in potentially reckless offense. It's a mechanic pulled directly from Max Holloway's own signature style of closing out fights by pointing down at the ground and daring his opponent to go blow for blow against him while in the center of the octagon.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
In order to build these flow meters, each fighter also has their own flow boost.
I really like that. Oh my god.
Meter gain by performing certain actions.
Oh my god, did you see the way he turned them?
How that person would actually fight. So if you're one of those aforementioned elusive fighters that utilizes a lot of head movement, chances are you might have the like water flow boost, which gives you a boost of flow meter whenever you successfully land a punch after slipping. Those with a more ground game centric fighting style benefit from flow states too, with fighters like Ruslan Makhachev getting their flow boost by attacking with a variety of submission techniques and getting huge bonuses to their submission prowess when activating flow state while on the ground.
I like flow state.
The biggest change.
I like flow state. Am I tripping? I actually like flow state. I don't know. Okay, so flow perks. Tiger, Lancer, Grizzly, Hot Blooded. Okay, strikes in the stand-up cost less than 50% stamina for 12 seconds. Phoenix, Bulwark, Like Water, Escapist, Bonesaw, Unbreakable, Spectre. Okay, I like the Like Water joint though. Cause they said with Like Water, when you slip a punch and then you land a punch, it boosts your meter more. So Like Water, I might be Like Water. I ain't gonna lie. I might be Like Water. I ain't gonna lie.
Into how UFC plays compared to prior iterations, but there are a lot of smaller quality of life changes as well. More prominent hit effects make blows more impactful. The new physics system does a great job of making blows connect and deflect off blocks with more realism than ever before. There's a new optional time dilation.
Hold on. Am I tripping? Hold on. 1 second, chat. 1 second.
And deflect off blocks with more realism than ever before.
Hold on. So he was anticipating it. The move came slow and he dips it and then throws a hook right out of that. I mean, it don't look like it landed because of like the way that the physics is, but bro, it did hit him, but it shouldn't have hit him, but it did. But Jesus, that was kind of crazy.
Feature that slows down time and helps newer players understand when they should be blocking, swaying, or defending transitions on the ground. And my personal favorite thing is that by default, jabs and straights are on 2 different buttons, regardless of what stance you're in. So there's no more accidentally throwing a slow straight when you meant to pepper in a couple of jabs, which has always been a
oh my god, that was a parry? Oh, I'ma like this.
While the career mode itself has seen a number of adjustments, like making it faster to get into the UFC, a straight-up shop where you can buy new moves as opposed to having to learn them from UFC fighters, and a bunch of new choices that can lead to either positive or negative outcomes, the big change this time around is the fact that there's now a cinematic prologue chapter called The Legacy. The Legacy puts you in the shoes of Chris Carter, a former collegiate wrestling standout looking to
I thought it was Crease. Maybe it is Chris.
try his hand at MMA in an attempt to escape the shadow of his gold medal winning father. His journey intersects with Danny Lopez, a similarly promising MMA upstart who is single-mindedly driven in his goal of becoming champion and proving his doubters wrong. Without going into spoilers, I'll just say that while the two start out as training buddies and good friends, eventually they become bitter rivals, with their hotly anticipated UFC showdown serving as the climax of the prologue, after which you naturally get funneled into the traditional career mode. In my hands-on time, I got about 2/3 of the way through the story in just about 2 hours or so, and my overall impression was pretty positive. Like prior UFC career modes, it does a good job of teaching you the basics of UFC 6 while contextualizing them all as training sessions for an inexperienced MMA fighter. Only this time, that inexperienced MMA fighter is an actual character with a backstory and clearly defined motivations. The story itself is a simple one, and since it is designed to be just a short prologue chapter, not a lot of time is devoted to developing the actual relationship between Chris and Danny, but it nevertheless succeeds in giving these early pre-UFC fights meaning and makes them less arduous to get through, which is a big win for the career mode in general. While career mode remains the thing that single players will put the majority of their time into, what I'm personally most excited about are the interactive museum-like exhibits that make up the Hall of Legends. These are fully explorable hubs designed around the careers and cultures of 3 UFC fighters, Max Holloway, Weili Zhang, and Alex Pereira. Weili's, for example, starts off by dropping you into a recreation of her hometown of Handan, China, where you can interact with several kiosks to read up on some background about how she started on her MMA journey, including clips of children training at the same martial arts school that she attended as a child, as well as insights into her personal life, like how her mother used to dig holes for her to jump out of, with each hole getting deeper and deeper, to the point where Weili herself described them as pits. It's pretty fascinating stuff. I said before that these are like interactive museum exhibits, but there's also an element of a Disneyland dark ride as well, with the way that the scenes unfold and change as you walk through them. The swelling and prideful music that scores the Handan scene gives way to a hip-hop beat as you enter the China's champion wing of the hub, which is themed like a UFC gym and focuses on Weili's actual UFC career.
Yo, I'm creating my fighter look just like me.
The greatest Chinese fighter to ever step foot in the Octagon. Of course, you won't just be walking around, reading text logs and watching videos. Each wing comes with a defining fight in that person's career that you can play through, complete with its own context-setting introduction. In most cases, you won't play through the full fight, just the end with optional clear conditions that reward you for staying true to how the fight actually played out. As a longtime MMA fan, I loved everything about this mode. It humanizes the athletes, it's a wonderful show of different cultures, done in a very respectable way, and it let me revisit some of my favorite fights in a way that only video games can allow. It's a feature that I hope sticks because I'd love to see similar treatment done for fighters like Anderson Silva, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Conor McGregor, and Kamaru Usman, just to name a few.
Take you what from who?
One other really neat addition that I appreciate greatly is the fact that the training mode now has a Street Fighter 6-like frame meter that breaks down how fast each technique is down to the last frame. UFC 6 seems to be making a push towards being more like a fighting game thanks to its more distinct styles of each fighter,
street fighting
management, and now they're even upping their training mode game. As a huge fighting game fan, I love to see it. Overall, UFC 6 is shaping up extremely well ahead of its June 19th release date, or June 12th for Ultimate Pass owners.
Crazy upgrade.
The improved lighting and fighter models make it look noticeably improved. The striking is more satisfying. There are far more distinct feeling fighters thanks to the new flow state mechanics. And the Hall of Legends is a true treat for UFC fans.
Oh yeah, Anderson.
Classic moments of the
oh, he got
sport,
hit by that though. I like that. I like that though. I like the fact that he was moving like water, but he actually got tagged. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't move the right way. I like that.
Some of its most
so it's not as OP as a lot of people thinking. If you throw the right shot at the right time, might score a knockdown.
Influential fighters. For more recent previews, make sure to check out our look at the upcoming Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
And they got a promo Assassin's Creed. Okay, so all in all, I actually can't wait for UFC 6. I mean, everybody knows me. I'm a sports gamer, been a sports gamer for a long time. And I've been into fighting games, man, since I was young. Back to playing Mortal Kombat in the arcades. I played Tekken. I played Virtual Fighter. I played just about every fighting game there is, except for, I think there's like one or two that I haven't played, which is like any type of iteration. It's not like I've played, 1 through 8 of something. Like I might have touched it, you know what I'm saying? Dabbled in it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Actually, I haven't played on a fight stick in probably about 7-8 years. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the last time I think I played on a fight stick. Went out to a convention and they had fight sticks out there, and them Jones was, feeling like I was a kid again and stuff like that. But most of the time, everything's really been on controller. Played the recent Mortal Kombat. We played Injustice. What else did we do? We played Street Fighter. What else did we play? I think we played the recent Tekken. I think that's about it. So, with UFC coming back after a 3-year hiatus, it's good to say that, I'm gonna have a fighting game in my PlayStation 5 storage again. So that's always good. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like for it. Let me know in the comment section what type of storyline or story mode, career mode you want me to create. Whether it be whatever weight class. Obviously the fighter's gonna look like me. He's gonna be bald with a beard. But yeah, let me know what weight class y'all want me to be in for my career mode, and then I'll go through the comments and then choose that. We probably will live stream some of the fights on my Twitch channel, and then of course upload the content here to YouTube. But I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
King Carter, 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 King Carter.